somebody is telling you what's right. Now you're going to have to decide what you're gonna do the next step you take in life.
You got me singing in my head when I dream about you dancing. So I wonder how many listeners are starting to learn the lyrics to the beginning of that song. Because it's just in my psyche. I sing it every time. You got me singing with the best. And I really am singing with the best. With all you sweetie pies out there. Here and around. Hello, everybody. Welcome to LFM TV, episode 16. We also call it LFM #SPTV, just so that the world forever will always know what SPTV is and how we as a group and a community created this amazing online beautiful connectivityness. All right, so I am also here with the one and only Miss Amy Scobee, who I am adding to the stage right now. Hello, Amy. The goldenrod babies. Here we are.
You got me singing with the
yes. You got me singing with. Let's sing it together, Amy. Ready?
Okay. Tell me the words.
You got. It says so. The beginning goes. You got me singing in my head, because I wasn't allowed. Maybe I should just tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
When I wrote that, I felt two things. I felt like my mother was this ballet dancer and did all these, like, all I saw were these photos of, I guess I can put this away. But all I saw were these photos of my mother being this amazing, glamorous, like a really high-end ballet dancer, but, you know, never allowed in the, you know, that was Sea Org days, was I just, she was always in a uniform or something. So it almost felt like two different people, but I don't know. Anywho, so writing that song, it was like, I can't ask you about your ballet stuff because that brings up too much of your past, and you're not trying to tell me about ballet because you see that I get way too excited about it and that it's a distraction to what you want me to be doing for my future, you know, things like that. But then when I left and I was able to finally create some sort of music, just because I was out of the Sea Org and I was out here in the outside world, I was like, oh, what should I sing about? And I kind of felt like, oh my God, like I want to talk about you dancing and stuff, but it's like anything I can think or say, I'm just going to have to write it down in this private song and not really say what I want, but just kind of hide behind the words that I'm saying. So that song is,
wow.
And it's kind of like about SPTV. It's kind of like there's so many of us, like, we're so like put down and held into this, like, you can't say this and you're not allowed to, you know, silencing. So I was just like, I was like, Mom, you can't imagine what is going on in my head. You've got me singing about so much stuff, and you got me singing about when I dream about you dancing, because we can't even talk about it. And obviously, in her age and time, there was no videos, or not that I know of. If somebody knew my mom ballet dancing, you know, you come and hit me up. If you knew my mom as a ballet dancer at all, please freaking contact me somehow. But so, yeah, this song is basically about that. You got me singing in my head when I dream about you dancing. You got me singing with the best. Basically, it's sort of sad. It's like, you've got me singing in my head when I dream about you dancing. You've got me And so for her, it was ballet. For me, it was singing. So I was like, you've got me singing in my head. You got me singing with the best. Like, I'm singing with these amazing artists that I've met out here, and like, and part of the reason I'm singing what I'm singing, right, you know, in the song, is that I've been so held back to not be able to talk about any of this. So I was telling her, like, you've got me singing with the best. And then I'm realizing, oh my God, I'm able to say everything. I guess all I can say in this song in this moment is my love for you is endless. Like, because I understand.
I love that.
And there was like a fight. We were arguing one time, and it was about with my grandma and things like that. So I was telling her, like, I know in the choruses, I know it was really rough to fight. I hope we can find our love tonight. My love, I've basically, I've seen everything you've been through. My love for you is endless. You've got me singing in my head when I dream about you dancing. You've got me singing with the best. My love for you is endless. I know it was really rough to fight, and I hope we can find our love tonight. I know you'll give your heart to me when you can. And if anybody else can make this right, it would only be us, and we'll be all right if we only share the things that we're not saying.
Yes.
Hey, yeah. So that's
Wow, I have a whole new concept of that song right now.
There you go.
From your story. And keep communicating, keep talking, keep speaking out, keep writing songs, keep singing.
Thank
mean,
you.
yes, number one, you're just a complete total queen. You're the queen beauty. and boy, oh my God. You know, it's so funny when I think about your mom. I didn't know that she was a ballet dancer.
I'm so glad we are jumping right into this. So one of my questions was going to be, did you know? I mean, like not how close were you? That's never my question really to anybody, because you're not allowed to be like close, like intimately, or just like really buddy with like a Sea Org member, especially if you're on a post or somebody and Amy's higher than my mom or on a position. She can't, if she's her senior or my mom's her senior, there's no like, everybody knows this by now, but so my question really is, what did you know about my mother at all?
I know.
And did you know she was a ballet dancer?
I did not know that she was a ballet dancer. Okay, so I was on the property for 20 years. She was there probably most of the time. I mean, I knew your dad more than I knew your mom, but and I really like your dad, by the way. We totally got along. He was just Mr. Unruffle. Like he wouldn't get, he would just like keep everything even keeled, even when the house was falling down, And but your mom she was always in gold. She was never in management, but I would go, down, get busted into gold and do jobs in gold or work on Saturday renovations or whatever. And she was just always around as like a stable person. Your mom always had the demeanor of being put together. She always looked put together. Like she always had like a smile on her face. It didn't matter if we were all, cleaning dumpsters.
No, like this, we laugh, but guys, this is a real thing. Like this is how you knew somebody. This is what sucks, is we really know there's a beautiful humans inside of Scientology. The Sea Org, obviously the children that are in it have no idea. Like there are actually really decent, beautiful human beings. And these are the stories when you really got to know a Sea Org member or another human being, is if you were scrubbing a dumpster with them or digging a trench, you were at the bottom just like they were. And
and I was a lot, because I went to the RPF 4 times, Rehabilitation Project Force, for anyone who doesn't know. But yeah, I did that 4 times. And so one day I'd be wearing...
unbelievable. It's just unbelievable.
I'm
like, I'm trying to be good with the no interruptions, because my heart melts just like hearing so much little things. Even for me, I'm sure people this happens, but 4 times. I mean, I was telling Jenna on a video we did the other day, that I had been in the governance group for some reason. I had to write this as part of my life history, but that I had been in the governance group as a child, under the age of 13. So I was been in the governance group, which is the bad out ethics cadet group. It's the bad group for children. It's the RPF for the cadets.
It's the governance group.
And they called it the governance group. And I was on that 11 times in the 10 years that I was 11 times in the 10 years that I was at the Int Ranch. So it's like I was basically in the governance group pretty much my whole, or the children's group when they weren't calling it the governance group.
So we know that you had a very bright future. Actually.
Oh, really bright. But I'm saying the RPF for you as an adult, right, is just insane. 4 times, you know what I mean? Like, and if the RPF is gruesome, everybody watching already.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's anyway. So.
And,
sorry, continue.
One of the times that I did it, it was a total injustice, and I was on it for 2 years, full time around the clock on the decks. You don't, and no, we didn't rehabilitate ourselves. We were a workforce and building L. Ron Hubbard's homes and stuff like that. And it was canceled after 2 years as an injustice, you know, like by a board of review, actually canceled. So those 2 years
After
of
2
my
years.
life. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fucking,
No, you
like,
got to get the job done
where's
first.
the handling?
Right?
Where's the handling there? Like, you
I
know,
know.
even the outside world system has, you know, until proven guilty. There's nothing like that in Scientology. It's just if David Miscavige says it, do it. Or if it's ordered by somebody above, do it.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah,
we'd even do it ourselves. It's not like if somebody ordered us, it's, oh, here's a message or an order from David Miscavige. Oh, got to go do it. I guess I'm walking myself to the RPF.
Oh, God. Tell me about it. Years. 18 years of dealing with that person. 18.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so
years.
you were at the Gold Base.
Because he wasn't. Yeah, for 20 years, I was at the Gold Base. See, 2 of those years, Dave was not there. He was in LA at Author Services. So those 2 years, we actually had a little bit of normalcy on the base. And then he arrived and took over, and everything was, you know, quite different after that. But the reason why I was saying it is because, you know, going up and down, like one day being wearing commander stripes on your uniform, and then the next day you're in the RPF, and then the next day you're on the decks, and then you're back into the Watchdog Committee with 4 stripes, you know, as a commander, whatever. So I just was like, I'm nice to everybody. I'm going to be in the dumpster with you tomorrow.
You started to learn that quick.
Yeah. And that's where I got to know people, you know, because I was always curious about people's lives and stuff. I started so young too, you know. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't have a lot about the outside world. I was always fascinated that people actually had lives before Scientology.
Yeah. I would say that you probably might have been good friends with my mother if my mother wasn't locked up as part of her job in a video librarian office all day long. Like,
those
my
people
dad,
had so much pressure.
Oh, so like, much. And, you
so
know,
much.
my mom is, I mean, as you know, my mom does the library. She does it she has to do the videos for all the events, all the side screens that David Miscavige is talking about.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. They always do this, the dogs and the kitties. Like, oh, now is the time to play. But they do listen, like, right when I say it, they're like, we're doing something wrong.
They knew who's boss.
But what I was going to say is that, yeah, she does all these things. So she's locked up in this room. I feel like my dad had more of a position. I think he was always like the sales sec, or I don't know. Am I wrong?
He
One time
he was in the Watchdog.
Oh.
Yeah, well, he was in the Watchdog Committee for over
when
the
you went
pubs.
there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, publications organization. Yeah, so he was a commander.
I forgot that I always, whoa. 3 things just blew up in my mind. My mind just said, oh, that's why David Miscavige hates my dad so much. Because he used to once be up sort of high and has been around for so long. Yep. And probably, you know, my dad is very, like you said, very nice and doesn't want to, like, he just wants everybody to feel good and just, you know, get through what, you know, through whatever they got to get through. And he wants people really strict and wanting to control and be fucked up.
Yeah. And anyone who threatens him in any way, like is smarter than he is or whatever, is an immediate target. So that doesn't surprise me at all that he had a target on his back from Miscavige.
Right. Know? And then so he has a target on his back from Miscavige because of that. But then he also has a target on his back because my mom and dad very much, whether they were in love or not, I don't even know what the fuck at this point to call my mom and dad's relationship. But whether at this time they were in love or not, I do feel that my mom and dad very much have a very strong agreement about being in a family and that they have kids and that we have a responsibility, so to speak, because let me tell you, 90% of that was out the fucking window the whole time.
I know.
But I do feel that there's that 10% where they did feel like, hey, we need to stay part of this marriage, even just for Scientology, and, you know, we can fix anything with our marriage and with our kids, right? So
Plus, I saw in some of your previous videos.
Oh, I was just going to say,
I was just going
to say that one of the things is that Miscavige also doesn't like that he later, because later he did control and separated my mom and dad, even though they were still married. They were.
He did that to a lot of people. He wrote, and I saw it with my own eyes, an order down to international management, us, and it was called commingling. And what that meant is anyone who was married to somebody in a different organization, it was considered bad, and commingling.
Commingling or fraternizing?
That's what he called it.
Fraternizing, commingling. Okay.
That's what he said, commingling.
One of Dave's words.
One of his words. And so we had to handle commingling on the base and in management. So people who, like I was married for 17 years to Jim Mortland, and he was in gold and I was in international management. So am I supposed to get a divorce? Because of that? He's like next door. No. I mean, he's just next door. But
isn't it weird, right, when you're sitting on a bus with him, right? And right next to you is the grounds person or somebody like my dad or somebody who's not so high up or whatever. Maybe my dad was at the time. But it feels weird. You have to have like, oh, I'm with my wife, I'm with my husband, right? But the next person next to me is my husband's friend, and I have to sort of not be so nice to them, and it's just so fucking weird, right?
The whole thing is just so weird.
Of course,
Number one, I was never sitting on a bus with my husband because we were never on the same schedule, never in the same organization. We had one vacation in 17 years.
Wow.
Just so I could say hi to his parents. Hi, I'm your new daughter-in-law. Goodbye.
Yeah.
But no, it's you don't even get to know anybody. But anyway, so
that's what I was trying to say.
He tried to split everybody up, and like even told me that he was offloading my husband. So, that's just the whole mentality up there at that base. That your parents are still married is a miracle. It's a total miracle.
I actually have a PI on. I hired a PI to find out. And I have I will have some information on that very soon. I don't believe that they're married anymore, and I think that's purposely being hidden from me. There's a lot of stuff that I also found out, which I can't talk about right now because this PI is awesome, and so we'll see. But
it's gross that you
don't say to me. I feel like. You're right, because actually the whole thing I ever held on to as a child with my mom and dad was that they were married, and Scientology must be helping them get through. And look at us. I might have, been born and back again in the Sea Org, or maybe I was already in the Sea Org before, and maybe I was one of L. Ron Hubbard's messengers, or maybe I worked directly for LRH because L. Ron Hubbard died right when I was born. I just had weird things about that. But so I'm like, no bad, but I also feel like if my mom and dad are divorced, if I find out that they're actually divorced and they're not together and stuff, that kind of gives me some hope to get one of them out. I don't know. Right.
No, I know. But what I was going to say, I wasn't saying about the circumstances, because it would be a miracle if they were still together, really.
I mean, it would. I would be like, now that's not on the same property. Strong ass love.
That's right. And but what I was saying is gross is that you have to hire a PI to find out about your parents.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, I looked you are less than 1 mile away from Big Blue.
Yeah.
And that's supposedly where your dad is at. Yet you can't see him. He can't talk to you.
Yep.
No one can tell you if he's okay, if he's sick, if he's fine, if he's still married to your mother.
Yeah, what's going on?
Makes
but the thing is, because even if my dad did properly leave or whatever's going on with him, right? Even if he was still in there, and maybe he's just, he could be married to somebody else. There's so many possibilities right now. Oh my God. Like, that's what I'm saying. There are so many possibilities right now. So one thing I was going to say, though, is they really nailed down not letting me know. There's certain details like that. I'm digging this up right now. And I'm like, and this is just from maybe 2 weeks of a PI working on some stuff.
Wow.
But you know what I mean? Like, ooh, I'm not going to, but I cannot wait to share so many future stuff with everybody in regards to the Int Ranch and the everything with the parents there. Oh, that's another thing. Yeah. I don't want to get sidetracked, but so that's what I'm saying is I have no idea what's happening. But the thing is you're talking about my dad going in a perspective of knowing who my dad was at Gold, that he's a good man. He tried to be a good person. He literally didn't try to create havoc or rudeness or anything toward anybody. Yet David Miscavige despised this man because him and my mom had this kind of beginning agreement, like, hey, if we're going to go into Scientology with this and we're going to do this with our kids, and kind of like Scientology is forever our therapy for our relationship, right? So if one of them are leaving or they're breaking up or they see me leaving and not liking it anymore and talking, you know what I mean? Like it starts to break up that agreement. So I wouldn't be surprised if they are not married and who the fuck, whatever. But the point is how do we get somebody like that? I mean, they again, it has to be their own mental free will, right? So it's not like I can still go and rescue my mom from the Gold Base. She has to want to leave with me.
You know, it's such a hard damn thing. You know,
I mean, it's
they're
relieving
behind these
to
fence.
talk about it on YouTube. It's relieving, guys. It's really relieving for us to just remember all this. But it's so intense. It's so fucking intense.
Oh my God, big time. So much, you know, and that's why this is your story, and stories like it is what inspires me and keeps me going on speaking out. Because
and same for me. Like there's so many, your channel, you're reading your chapters of your book. You've given me so many ideas. I mean, I'm not trying to just toot each other's horns. It's literally so
I'm going to toot your horn.
You toot my freaking horn. Did you get one of these yet from Bill? I mean, it's the Bill doll. I said from Bill. It's from
John, right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And wait, can I pause you and interrupt the whole episode right now? Lara feels like she has not been heard.
Oh, well, she should brush her hair a little.
No, she just like me. She just needs to put it up in a little scraggle, and then it's all done. Dun, dun, dun. Look, that's my fun. Hair. Look. Right now, if I take out my hair, what the heck does it look like? You guys tell me. Who the fuck? What the fuck? I mean, she did probably wake up on the left side of the bed, but.
I think that doll is so awesome.
Thank you, really Ellen. This is from Lone Dinosaur 13. She's always in the chat, and you guys are just freaking, you make my days. Okay, back to fucked up shit.
Well, keep speaking out. I think it is therapy.
It is therapy. It
you know why? Because we can say whatever the hell we want about what happened in Scientology, and they can't shut us up. Period.
And the other thing, it's not like, we're like sitting here behind intimidating lawyers and people trying to fuck us over and shit. Or like, oh, we know what. It's like, no, this is our voice. This is our personality. Yeah. We actually I swear to God, every human speaking out on SBTV and on YouTube and bringing in information from people who are part of SBTV community but are not on the YouTubes and all that. That's 100% amazing and okay too. But are giving us all this. This is the thing as a group, as they say. Scientology is a group and they're powerful. No, SBTV now is a group and then it's a community and it's very powerful. Not only like psychologists literally would be telling me and my therapist, continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's not, we can't call it legally therapy, but guess the fuck what? It is therapy.
Absolutely.
From the amount of abandonment and the amount of keep your mouth shut and it's your fault and you take responsibility and how out PR for you to ever involve the law and how dare you talk or ask anybody a question. You know what I mean? There's so much fucking crap every time. Katrina and Serge were just talking about this on their channel, that you're constantly always made everything you're doing is wrong. So my dad right now, everything he's doing, even if he's trying to leave, even if he's trying to just either be with my mother or not, like whatever it is, he always feels like he's doing something wrong and he can't get himself out of this shit that he keeps creating on all these lines.
The only way to handle that is to leave, and
Dad, you heard it from Amy's mouth. Amy's your friend. Did you hear that, Dad?
And he was
Roy
a friend.
Anderson.
He was definitely my friend. And we will take care of you. Come out. We'll help you get set up, everything. The Aftermath
Yeah.
Foundation is here, everything. So he's just down the street from you. Oh my God, if I was in LA.
And technically speaking, like my mother is just 2 hours away.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, Mom, you know how to get to LA really easily.
Right. Yeah.
The thing is it's at this point, it's not physical, it's mental. She's literally, I mean, physically, she's probably in really bad medical shape, but, you know, with her mind being the way it is and all the mental abuse of how she should be thinking, she's not going to leave. But what's great is for her to even hear this, or somebody hear, you know, it kind of lets people go, yeah, she's right. I wouldn't leave even if she did come to the gate and things like that. You know what I mean?
They wouldn't even bring her out, you know.
No, they wouldn't. That's
it's just so locked down.
They wouldn't even let her know I was there. They would just be
the
like, hey,
base,
you need it. Dave and Miss Cabbage is requesting that you go into an immediate session.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. For a security check to find out how you pulled it in.
Yeah, but they don't say. They're just like, have you been talking to your daughter? Then why is she at our front gate? But they don't say that. They just say like, whatever it is. Anyways.
They won't even tell the person really, you know, and they'll keep it internal. But the worst place to escape from is the Int base because of the gates and fences. And Jackson said how they put like the fence 5 feet down so you can't even dig out underneath it, you know.
Yeah. And
to
that
keep
was
people
because
in.
people were trying to leave, or they were like, oh, we can get out. Oh, good. Close that off. You know, close that in. And put some bushes around it and some trees so it doesn't look like it's an electrocuting fence, or doesn't look like we did stick, you know, barbed wire all the way around and down. Like, make it look pretty. It's actually insane. It's like such a facade from the very footsteps that you're walking around it.
Yeah, I mean, they don't need it. They don't need it. You know, they're not a cult.
Facade. Yeah. They're just a religion. What do you mean? What do you mean? Wow. Okay, so let me jump really quick back into just with, okay, so you knew my dad very well. You didn't know my mom very well, but you know of her very much.
Yeah, she was around. She was always there. Always there. I knew, you know, where she worked.
What did you feel about her energy? You said she was a little more like uptight. Did you say?
No, I said she always had a smile on her face.
Okay, like, but you said she had like more like she had her shit together or something like that.
Yeah, like what I meant is like in her appearance, she always appeared put together, like
interesting. Totally.
Some people were just like
absolutely
shambles.
Like you always. I hope you were saying this in a nice way, but you always look put together.
Thank you. Yeah,
Amy,
even
you
when
always
I was
look
there,
beautiful, and even in your Sea Org times, you always looked put together. Like
even though I was up
a lot
for
of people
5,000 days, I just would put the effort in because if I lost any ounce of my own personal integrity, then I would have had nothing left.
That is what my mom struggles with every day. That she's the exact same type of personality. Like she's like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, I just went really deep. Like I remember seeing a photo before they completely stopped talking to me, or like somehow my cousin or somebody sent me a photo and they didn't know that you know, I wasn't allowed to be talking to my mom or anything, and I saw them and I was just kind of, I think I have it but I was just like, my mom like looks like she's trying to keep it together, and she looks like she's just so busy and washed out and like,
you know,
deprived.
It can only last so long though. You know, like here's the thing.
But how long? My mom has been there for 45 years, and even without my dad now for 10, 15 years, it's like what is
and all of her children
are
gone. I know.
Except for my sister.
Fence.
I mean, they are out of the Sea Org. Like, it's just crazy. Like, I don't know. Is this the breaking point, or is this the point where she's just stuck there forever, kind of mentally?
Yeah, right. Well,
oh my God, hold on. I have to pull this up from Jeff Hawkins really quick. He said, on the base, whenever I was down in video editing, I'd stop by and see your mom and have a chat because I'd like her so much. One of a kind. See?
One of a kind.
That's what I mean. Like, so everybody that I heard about her, talking about my mom that knew her because they would be either in the editing or department or a reason to have to be going down to.
Yeah.
She
was always there.
And she was always like, oh, hi, Jeff Hawkins. You know, like, you know, that's what sucks is like I totally see this loving, very loyal, very like, oh, I'm gonna save some of this for, you know, Jeff Hawkins, or for, she always had these people that like, you know, and it was probably just the like 10 people that were working with her or close with her, you know, because everybody knew, oh, I didn't know your mom that well, but I knew she was always nice, and she seemed like, that's it. And then the people who knew her, like, oh, I loved your mom. Oh my goodness, she would sneak in donuts for us. And there's all these crazy stories. It's hard for me to hate her. It's hard for me to, it's so crazy, you know?
Oh man.
I mean, I know, you know, it's just like, it's,
I do know. And it's hard to hear you say it's hard to hate my mom, because I know my mom got me in Scientology too. You know, I was young, and
how old
I was
you?
raped as my first thing, you know, in there.
Yeah.
And then it was covered up by Scientology.
Yeah,
my first experience in Scientology was
Were
that,
you in the Sea Org or no? This was just
not yet.
No, and
that
this was by somebody, not to go deep into that, but this
in
was
there,
by somebody in the Sea Org or in just on
in the
staff?
Staff member where I went.
Wow.
I started on staff full time when I was 14, and then and so it was there, and then I joined the Sea Org right after my 16th birthday, and I left when I was 42. So I was in there for a little while.
God, I'm so sorry, Amy. I wish I could give you like 5 million massages.
Oh, I would love that. I need a
massages is all we need right now. I
yeah,
know.
for real.
I should start our own. I should have a little thing that just says, give an SP a massage.
You know, my birthday's
donate $100. You know those bitches are not cheap.
I told my husband, because my birthday's coming up on the 3rd, and it's going to be my 60th.
Happy birthday! I'm totally going to send you something. Oh my God.
Anyway, I told my husband what I want is a massage package.
Like, I mean, I can't even. I can't even. We want like 10 of them.
This is how
we
far
want
I can
10 of
bend
them.
my head.
It's not a joke. Every single day, and I'm a personal assistant, and I have a lot of energy, so I am used up.
Wow.
And I'm giving and going and all day long. And then I come to the YouTubes, and then I'm dealing with my mom and my dad and everything going. And it's just like, all we need is money and massages. I should write a song about that. Money and massages. Money to pay our bills, massages to fucking chill. Ooh.
I love it. That's right. Yeah. Okay, like, I mean.
Oh my God. Yeah, like our necks are fucked. Yeah, and yes, now I know what to get you for your birthday. And anybody in the chat, Amy's birthday's coming up. She's gonna be this. No, but Amy, you're the big 60. This is something so fucking important to celebrate. Yeah. You have left Scientology. You were in something so dark and deep that people do not leave. You have to literally claw yourself out of it in the most loving way without scratching people. It's really crazy. And I'm just so proud in your attitude, and you look amazing, and you and Matt are just so smart and like on the right, like your right little thing. I just think it's such an, if I was in your position, I would feel very good. I think that you're fucking amazing, and you're strong, and you're so like intelligent with the way that you're like spitting out all this truth and like, yeah.
Well, let me stop you for a second and just turn it right around on you, because
no.
I am in awe of you. Okay, so I watched your YouTube video yesterday, and you've got all these photos of you when you cut your hair and dyed it black. Didn't recognize you at all. But anyway, your story of couch surfing and not having a place, and for Scientology to own you since you were a baby and then put you out so young into the world to like find an apartment, get a job and whatever, and you didn't even know the first thing about the world. I didn't know at 42 the first thing about the stupid world. Stupid Scientology. But anyway, so I was like, I wish I could just hug you so much. And then I wish I could give you back your whole childhood, and our lives would be so different. But what we're doing right now, though, on educating people who were in our positions, or ever considering ever going into a cult, open your eyes, know that they control you, know that it is not a happy place. and
Yeah.
stay away from that place. In the meantime, expose Scientology until they go completely bankrupt and people are brought to justice. Anyway, it just makes me like get on fire again. But anyway, I just love you so much, and that you are like a little creative beanie. I love it. Sing, write, sing, and be successful. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
You are.
That's what it's all about. Well, we just fucking told y'all. Okay, so I also wanted, oh, good. I always look up and it's like 2 hours went by and I'm like, oh no, I didn't even ask anything. And it's only 35 minutes. Thank God. Okay, good. So I do have other specific questions here, but I also just wanted to quickly ask, like, and remember, you're going to be like, oh, I have 5 more questions, and these are like big questions. So
yeah, go for it.
So I wanted to say, first I wanted to, do you want to run and close that? And I'll tell people what it's right in your eyes, and I don't want it to blind you.
Yeah.
Okay. What I am going to ask Amy is, of the parents, so I want to either name off some kids that were there or names. Like, I want to talk about the parents that you knew of kids that were at the Int Ranch. So, like, I want them to hear that Amy or somebody they know on SPTV very much was, like, very close with their parent. It feels so good when Jeff Hawkins says, like, oh, I like that, just about The Office. Like, I would go down and see your mom. Like, not to be all like ready to just forgive my mom and everything and all lovey and empathetic, because she does not, she has a lot to work through herself. But the thing is that it's very, very helpful and very healing for people who have so much anger and resentment toward their parents that were at the Int Ranch specifically, but also at any cadet org, anywhere. If you were a child in the Sea Org or in Scientology, you have a lot of resentment for your parents, whether you are trying to cover that up and not talk about it or whatever. Like, I can see it through people's teeth when they try to say, like, oh yeah, well, it's fine. I'm like, no, I can see that you're so mad about it that you don't want to talk about it, and you're saying it's fine. It's not fine. And there needs to be amends from society, from the courts, from the justice, from our parents. And part of that is to realize what they have done and why all of this slowly was reasonably okay to be happening. And so anyways, again, before I go off on a fucking roll, look at me, Amy.
It's awesome. It's true. We're passionate about this. That's why we're here.
I'm like, yeah, literally, I could go be performing, and I could have taken any TV shows. I could have been an actress. I was literally like, I want to be as far away from any contract, any Hollywood bullshit thing. Oh, you're gonna be in the movie. Oh, well, you have to. But you can't do this because Prop 60 something's on this, and they're Democrats and they're Republicans. It's like, what? Fuck off.
No.
That's what you're talking about. Like, get away from any cult. Yeah, no.
Yes.
Hollywood is a cult. Everything is a fucking cult. So be yourself and see what pulls toward you. Like, that's all I can say. But in terms of the people that were specifically at the gold, before we jump into this, I had a good processing when I was like processing through videos and questions and answering old questions. I want to quickly go into the chat, answer any fun things that come up, and then we're going to start naming some parents and things like that, and we can talk about that. Is that good? Because I don't want to ignore beautiful chats. I do like, but I also can't do like chat and, talk with you and be really into what, you know how it is.
It's hard. Yeah.
So let's go to chats, and thank you again, y'all there's 183 people. This keeps adding up, and thank you all for watching and being supportive. And for the new people who are going to come in and watch this is so amazing that we have Amy here and myself to be able to kind of put together parents and timelines and why so-and-so was sent to the RPF and who was on, on what positions. And in fact, I actually made this, Amy, episode 16, because you specifically were at Gold Base for the big chunk of these years that the Int Ranch existed. So we have a lot to catch up on. So I was like, okay, we're going to actually make it episode 16, and the next one could be 16A, 16B with Amy Scobee, because there's just so much.
Yeah.
I would also love, I don't know if Jeff Hawkins wants to jump on at some point, but I would love to have you and Jeff Hawkins on. And Matt, if Matt would like to jump on, because Matt also knew me. I don't think he even remembers really who I am, or maybe he does, but he was in Treasury when I was, Charles Moniz and Natalie Moniz were my guardian. And like and I was in FSO as an MAA, and I would make him laugh and he would make me laugh, but we were cool with each other. We had that attitude. So like, it would really be cool to see his perspective. And I know he's on.
He doesn't realize that
he has no idea. No, he has no freaking idea. He thought I was just a fun firecracker, just so fun. But then I was an MAA and little hard ass, so it was like really cool. Anyways, it was so good to get you on, but it was like for you to, I was like, Amy, I'm like, this is me. It's Megan. Yeah. I'm Diana and Phil Anderson's daughter. You know?
Yes. Oh, when I heard that, I was like, because I saw that.
I remember watching. I was just reviewing the questions on my other two things for these questions. Like, did you know my mom? And did you know she did ballet? And I was like, I was watching when you realized, like, oh my God, on Aaron's channel, you were like, you are Diane and Phil Anderson's daughter.
Yeah.
You're like, I know Phil very.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Like, because I saw you appear a couple times. I didn't know who you were. I didn't watch the thing because I'm. It's a hard enough time kind of doing my own stuff over here. Yep. Especially when I was first learning. But anyway, and then when you said that, I just went, oh my God, we're going to have to talk big time. Aww. Anyway.
And I was like, wait a minute. And more that I saw your face, I was like, wait. And I remember walking, like, I would remember being at Gold Base, walking to Qual or something with my mom who was auditing me. Crazy. Or I was auditing my mom, giving her touch assist and nerve assist for her spine that is really screwed up and stuff from ballet, because she didn't gradually come off of ballet because she just joined the Scientology in Canada. By the way, for all you Canadians in the chat, hello. I'm sure this is very interesting to see how this wild child ended up in Hollywood, but I really I should have been a born Canadian. Yet here you get your fun little Hollywood child story. Okay, so I'm just gonna oh, this is cute. I'm gonna just show you fun things as we go through so I don't ignore anybody. Okay. Hi, Lisa Kelson. OMG, I'm so happy right now. Two of my favorite SVs at the same time. I hope you both know how much happiness and love you both give to all of us. It never ends. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. And then we have some cute ones. Oh, cute. Is this just a hi, Janet became a... Oh, good. Did you see that?
Yes. Wonderful. New member.
So fun. Look at this. Hi, folks. Could someone please post a link to Lara's channel? I'd like to give her the watch hours. Yes.
I'll put that,
right there,
I'll put that on. Yeah,
Thank you. That's so smart and sweet. How do we asses if a Scientologist want help? How do we asses if a Scientologist want
assess
help? Oh, how do we assess?
Or your asses.
How do we asses do this? All right, because we're just some asses over here who know nothing. I would say, how do you assess if a Scientologist wanted help? They would be asking little questions, like, first of all, I don't know what you mean. Like, do you mean online, Skipper? Do you mean like if they were asking a question online? Or do you mean like if you saw them on the street and they were like, hi? First of all, I don't think they would ever say I was in Scientology. But if they were, and it was like, they were like, Serge was a homeless person and he did tell his story to multiple people. And some people just couldn't freaking believe it. And then also some people couldn't help him because Scientology actively didn't want him to get better. And so... Yeah. They were just doing all kinds of things. Anyways, but what I'm saying is, like, if a Scientologist is asking questions, like, about possible negativity, or is this true, or I heard this thing, but, that's when you'll know. That's when you know somebody, but the thing is they don't even know they're leaving. They don't know they're realizing, like, they don't know they're asking these questions. They don't know that they're slowly coming out of their senses to be like, I need to move on. I need to get out of this. So... I think you wouldn't know if a Scientologist needed help. just to sadly answer that right away, you wouldn't know, because they would be brainwashed already to take care of themselves or to deal with them themselves and not to speak out to anybody about it, because they don't just get, it's not just like, oh, you bad, you get in trouble. It's affecting your whole life. Like, they'll fuck with your family. So the moment you want help getting out of anything, you really, again, just go to the Aftermath Foundation. Go reach out to Aaron. Go reach out to Aaron on growing up in Scientology. He literally, they will give you the best advice and ways. If that means that they need to open up a separate email or, a separate way to do that so they don't get in trouble, then do that. But that's the first way to do it. And then tell them your full situation or partial situation where Aaron or whoever will know that they're trying to leave, or you have a family member or somebody who is trying to leave. Okay, I think we got that, right?
Yes.
And thank you again, you double. I run a clinic. Oh, you see that? That's very important. I would definitely, Degraded Daughters of Dianetics, Vanessa, she's there. She also knows how to very much deal with people who are on like maybe possibly a mental thing, like where they're on, or they're thinking about like maybe getting medication, or they picked up medication, et cetera, et cetera. And you start to think like, oh, maybe this person's trying to leave, but they're still stuck in this situation. I would hit up Degraded Daughters of Dianetics. They will help you right away. Vanessa specifically, she knows all. I mean, they both do. They're just awesome. But Vanessa, and then, or just hit up the Aftermath Foundation or Aaron.
Yep.
Aaron. He's very good with being discreet and helping people with all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
You Skipper. I could know. Okay, thank you for your sweet little cutie pie chats. Okay, so now let's go back into is there anything there, Amy, that you see that you want to answer?
Well, I mean, so many kind of comments.
Yes.
But I wasn't able to star, and they kept flying by. But how about I just say, oh my God, everybody, thank you for your awesome comments. I love you too. I love you too. And I love Laura too. Lara FM. Do you see that I've got Amy AM?
Yeah. Nobody knew. Nobody in the chat. Did anybody? I'm looking. Nobody noticed Amy's funny little Amy AM.
I did see one.
Lara
I did
FM.
see.
You did okay.
I did see someone say Amy FM. Oh my God! I just noticed. I saw someone say that.
Aw.
Yes, I put that on there.
Purple Groovy 69, you cutie. Thank you for being here always. Lara, the love you have for your mother is a journey starting at forever and ending at never. That's very sweet. Thank you. Again, sometimes it's hard to hear, but I obviously know that that is true.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think we did this on the base whenever I was down. Oh, thank you, Jefferson Hawkins. Please answer if you want to. Actually, I can just probably, or yeah, Jeff, maybe I just need to text you so I have your number and all that. Hi, Lara. We've missed you. Lots of love to you. Thank you, Renee, Noel. Any more questions? So here, this helps if you put in caps when you're going to ask a question, just put question in caps.
Yeah.
And I'll see right away. But also you can, I love these cute comments.
I know.
Oh, Sandy Yerkins Power. I can't wait to hear what you found out. I can't imagine. Guess who made me these beautiful goldenrod gloves?
Was it Sandy?
Sandy Powers. And
she
made me this amazing dress and some other gloves that I've been wearing, and I just can't get enough. These gloves, I call them, I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. And I just can't seem to get enough. Anyway. Okay, good. So, I don't know if I'm getting. No, I'm not. There's still more. Yeah. See, now I've been going to mental health for years, and they do with it. Yep. Sorry, I'm just reading things that I don't need to post, but I also.
Yeah, it's good for you to go through them.
Laura, you very much remind me of my daughter. If no one has told you lately, you're amazing exactly as you are. Sending you mom hugs from Canada. Thank you, Cat Jack. That's very
an awesome
sweet.
Comment.
Yeah. Especially from a little Canadian. Oh, here we are. We got a question. How about a Jenny Linson story from Richie Pound?
Wow.
Is Jenny Linson Jenny DeVock?
Yeah.
Wow.
Jenny Linson is Jenny DeVock. Okay, a story. To me, she wasn't always the Wicked Witch of the West. I worked with her for a long time. I was at her wedding. which was at her parents' house in Santa Monica, and to Tom DeVocht. We worked on Celebrity Center together, and it was establishing the hotel part of it that she was responsible for, and I was responsible for all of it. But with her, we would go to other 5-star hotels to scope them out in order to bring back that knowledge and wisdom to what we want to do with Celebrity Center. Anyway, so we had fun on that kind of, those excursions in LA. We went to the Four Seasons and all over.
That like pisses me off. Not I love you, Amy, but it pisses me off because she was such a bitch. She scarred my childhood.
How did she affect you?
Jenny Linson,
even her?
Jenny DeVocht, right? So
yeah,
when we were all being shipped off to Florida. Okay, I need to stop being mad at people in the Sea Org, because then, because with all of my therapy and this, like, everything I'm learning, and it's just silly. I laugh at myself and I'm like, yeah, you're getting mad at somebody who's stuck in a fucking cult who has no control over their mind, and then I feel bad, right? Okay, but let's just go back to when I was 14, 13 years old in Clearwater, Florida, and I had left fucking the Int Ranch. And I saw, if somebody, before I bring this up, if you're in Clearwater and know anything about Tiffany Hollingsworth, hit me up and let's talk about this. Or if Tiffany Hollingsworth, or you're in the chat and you somehow hear this. Anyways, so I had been on the EPF from the ranch, and, I had seen just like all these execs as the programs were sent, for all the kids to go off to the Int Ranch. I mean, from the Int Ranch to Clearwater to join the Sea Org. Jenny, like, I was walking down the scene, and I had seen her and Angie Blank and all these, execs, like, oh, good, the new cadets are, hi, how are you? Good, you're doing good. Like, obviously they were, like, inspecting our shit, but we were, like, working, and we're like, yep, we know how to do this. Like, and so they were, like, almost proud of us. Like, look at it, right? So I'm walking outside the Clearwater building, CB going into to eat off of a bus or something. We would walk from the coachman, and it was like my first, thought I was doing good on the EPF and, whatever. And Tiffany Hollingsworth, who used to be a cadet at the QI and who used to be, she was like all totally apart. She was like a young, who grew up in, her sisters and everybody grew up in the Sea Org and in Scientology. And she was like not in a Sea Org or Scientologist anymore, and I had no idea. And I just had been in my EPF uniform, and I saw her kind of like walking across the street, sort of near the Bob Minton Foundation, like the Bob Minton where Lisa McPherson, and we weren't supposed to go there, but I saw her walking toward, like, she just didn't give a shit, and she was walking on the Clearwater Scientology side of the building. And I was like, oh my God, Tiffany. She was like, hey. And I was like, oh my God. And she like, she was like, hi. And she gave me a hug. She was like, okay, well, she kind of was standoffish, but I was like, okay, bye. I was like, what the hell? Because I remember seeing her with like Brandy Whitmore and Samantha Whitmore, like all these, I was just like, that was Tiffany Hollingsworth. Like, what the heck? Oops, there goes my mic. And then I was like, what I was just kind of like, I turned around, kind of going to walk back into the CB to go eat with all the rest of the, the EPFers running in. And I was thinking, like, imagine my headspace. So I'm thinking, like, I'm like, oh my God, what the heck? Oh, she's up here she's here in Clearwater. And last time I saw her, and as I'm thinking, last time I saw her was like with Brandy when I was at the ATA, my friend Brandy Whitmore, who's like a family
Which
friend.
is the
Whitmore, Shane Whitmore, and anyways, Kathy Whitmore. And then before I could even finish my thought process, Jenny DeVocht Lindstein, her and Angie Blankenship, like witches, fierce witches. I can't even call them witches because now witches are like amazing, but come storming towards me, and Jenny DeVocht grabs my arm so fucking hard and yanks me. I'm already walking fast because I'm hungry and I want to go. And she like pulls me into the CB doors and kind of like throws me in there. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you talking to her? And I was kind of like, I literally was in shock. I was like, I don't know.
Come on.
I was like, I don't know, sir. I was just saying, she was like, and then I thought, oh, she's not in the Sea Org. She's not even in Like, why am I talking to a like a public Scientologist, basically, that was once maybe part of the Cadet Org or something? That's what it felt like. And I was thinking, like, oh, I shouldn't even be granting her the beingness that she was ever close to the Sea Org, and now she's just out. I'm thinking being a local Scientology public. Yeah. No, she was on like ethics lines or something. And anyways, long story longer and very short. Jenny Linston literally fucking was like, you're going to get declared. She threatened me. She was like, and imagine me coming from the ranch and I just went through all this interrogation and then I'm on the EPF and I'm doing well, I think. And I just say hi to this chick who I saw when I was younger as like a kid. She was just a family friend of a sister. Like, and anyways, and I was put under dishwashing, scrubbing, and I didn't realize until way later why I was being punished so much. And so ever since then, she was always looking. And then eventually I became an MAA and she was like, oh, good. Who's here? Are you doing your job? Good. And I was like, yes, sir. And even as an MAA, I was like, and I was kicking people's asses as an MAA, not kicking them physically, but like I was telling them what to do. So for me to be afraid of Jenny, Mr. DeVocht, we would call her, remember, nobody's a female or but she to me was like, you do not fucking, if you're fucking slacking at all, you're going to the RPF if she walks by. That's what it felt like. Then I was like getting promoted CMO, and as I was, but anyway, so long story longer, I really, through my whole process of knowing her, she was just a evil, like she always has one eye watching you kind of a thing. And you're always like looking out for her behind your back because she might come and stab you. Anywho, but she made my life hell. But what I was going to ask you before I was like, oh, I hate Jenny, is that I wonder if she was like similar to you or my mother or somebody at Gold Base, and before she got taught to be psychotically insane like that.
You know,
like maybe she was nicer at a certain point.
She was nice when she first came up lines. She was green. She was young. She was enthusiastic, and I thought she was kind. You know, in my meetings with her. Okay, so then she was like a suck up. You know, so she always tried to like get in good graces with David Miscavige and do whatever he wanted to get done. And that's when she started getting really bad. And he knew that she would do whatever he said. So he would use that. And she got really bad. She did. I mean, even with me, it would be like her and Angie Blankenship looking at me like, look at her hair. She always has her hair perfect. You know, why don't you concentrate on production? Like those kind of statements, you know?
Yeah.
And you just go like, what do you do with that? You know, I don't know. I had, she's the one who forced me to pay $5,000 for Tampa's rent because Dave Miscavige said that I had to pay it. And so she forced me to do it. So she took pleasure in that kind of crap later. But, to me, it's just fast. Oh, my husband's got stories. He hates her, man. He hates her more than anybody. But he's got stories where she put that flag land base.
If I have stories, then people definitely have stories about Jenny DeVocht, Linsteen, whatever you want to fucking call her. It's so weird because she's, she had this sort of, I don't even want to say she's pretty, because she was pretty for a little bit. And then over the years, the more deprived she was of sleep, the more orders she got from David, like all this stuff. The whole time I was on she became a demon. So like, so this is where I want to kind of say, hey, whoa, breaking news. Jenny Linsteen DeVocht was actually a nice person at some points. I think tiny pockets and maybe earlier on at Gold Base. But other than that, all she was a power hungry little bitch.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I mean, what a transformation to see that person, because I went through all the same pressure and I didn't end up, taking pleasure in attacking people, honestly. But, she never went to the rehabilitation project course.
Jenny Linsteen never went to the RPF?
No.
I mean, maybe not while you were there. She needed to.
Sometimes it can like humble people who are just like on a high horse that they just keep rocking.
Yeah. This one at Lolo 0708. My family's summer home was in Lake Simcoe. Oh, I wanted to ask you. Yeah. Where it's near something where Scientology Stag Day fake funeral years ago. Yes. Will you please email me or message me, larafmmusic@gmail.com? I would like to get some info on that for my PI. I'm just going to call him my PI.
Why did they stage a fake funeral?
Oh, there's some, yeah, I want an, this is very cute. I hereby adopt Lara as a sister. Keep telling your story. Thank you, honey pie angels.
Did you see the note that I wrote inside the book for you, Laura?
Yes. Can I read? Oh my God. First of all, can I, on this pause of momentation, just kidding. Amy, you know what's so fucked up though is that I am listening to your chapters on your audio because I love hearing. I'm just more like to be in my head reading a book. I have to be alone. I have to be basically in an auditing room where you're just suffocating and nobody can interrupt. But anyway,
that's right.
But I feel like this is, look guys, I got super excited when I opened it because I don't know if I'm doing this right, but
there it is.
But before I say you the note, but look at when I opened it, it's super like not hard to read. Like I feel like I could read this actually if I put myself in a chamber, for a good 4 hours, I know that's slow. Somebody could read this really quick, but my brain.
A lot of people said that they read it in one sitting. You know,
I didn't, and that's what I would want to do. This is like I would want to have the whole thing. Anyway, so if you guys have not gotten Amy's book, you can totally get it because you can highlight your little notes and memories, which I love doing with my own personal books. I've got a few of them here, including the Bag Cadet and Liz Gale and all that. But this one I just love, and she's reading chapters on her channel, so that's really fun because you can hear it right out of the horse's mouth, as they say.
I only have 2 chapters left.
It's so exciting. I think I've definitely skipped a few, but I always listen to. Okay, so here's the cute little note from Amy.
Lara.
It says, Lara, a sweet angel. I always get like, Okay, a sweet angel, hardworking spirit of love. That's you, my dear. I love you, Amy and Matt Pesh. Thank you. I cannot
That describes you.
You know what? We're going to do, me and you, a little book. I'm going to have a little book interview for you. That's what we'll do on my channel next time when I'm doing your little books.
Okay, that's fun.
Okay. I'm pulled this up. Lone Dinosaur is the one who made me this amazing doll. I'm slowly falling more. I don't care about anything else. I'm slowly falling more and more in love with this doll because she's giving me creative ideas. And she also, like, Amy, don't you think I could do a whole episode with just me and Lara?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what if I was just like stoner beloner and we just having inside talks? Like, Lara's reading my shit out loud. I'm reading Lara's thoughts.
Yeah. So I think that would be fascinating.
Amy, do you have your shoes on or off?
Off. No shoes.
What the fuck is this suppressive bullshit? Look, guys. Me too. And when I got the doll, she literally has no shoes. And the person who made it, Ellen, the person who made it, I was like, I don't know if they had time to do it, and it didn't matter. And they were like, all like, oh, I don't know, she's right. I don't know if you're going to like her. When I literally was like, Amy, there's something weird about having a doll. It's wearing a freaking onesie, a black onesie, which I wear all the freaking
all the time.
Like when I'm not trying to look semi-professional. Anywho. And then I was just like, imagine stoner talks with this one.
Yeah.
We're just going to be talking. We're just going to be, hey, no, you don't tell me what to say. Anywho, okay, good job. Yeah,
so that was Lone Dinosaur that made that. So Lone Dinosaur, you duplicated Lara perfectly. So that was awesome.
She was like, I hope you like it. I was like, this literally made my freaking year.
So Ray, you got to look at that one I'm your godmother. Yeah, that's nice.
That's
I
cute,
like
but
that.
I also don't feel like you're. Look at this is also for you. This one, sorry.
Minna. Oh, nice. Thank you. And I see that there's a question from Ray for you, a big one
A big one. Okay,
on there.
hold on.
Yeah.
Let me just.
I
Cynthia.
mean,
God said
it's
He
not
will restore the years the locusts
locust. Yeah.
have eaten, and I compare what Scientology did to all you. Our
Our
years locusts
years.
have eaten 100%.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's a good
Yeah.
analogy.
Yeah. You know, it's true.
Thank you,
It's true.
Cynthia. Yeah, it is true. Okay, you. What was this one? I wish I had.
I can read it.
Yeah.
Because I can't pull it up, but I can read it. It says, "This question is for Lara. What years were you active at the Int Ranch? How many times have you visited the ranch site years later, now that you were an adult, and what feelings did you have?"
That was like 10 questions. So
Yeah.
first of all, let's just start with one. Okay, wait. What was the first one?
Yeah. So, what years were you active at the Int Ranch?
1991. Active. Active. I was brought as a child. To the Int Ranch in 1990. At the end of 1990, early 1991.
Okay. In 1990, how old were you at then? You were only.
I was 4 years old. I was just
4?
turning 4. Amy, you're asking a question for somebody else. You can't react to my age.
Okay.
And then what was the other thing? I know you're like, oh, that makes me so mad.
It does, and I could go on a roll right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I was like, don't
question.
be like me.
How many times have you visited the ranch site years later, now that you're an adult?
Okay, so 3. The first attempt, I was by myself. Didn't tell anybody, wanted to go there, didn't even think about filming it. Just wanted to go there to just go back. I wanted to go back, not as a strong adult, because I wasn't strong even then. This was I think this was about 10 years ago when I was thinking about just driving up. You know, because as children, we were doing marching drills, left, right, very military marching drills. And they made us learn our address of the base in case we got lost or we ran off too far or we were on a outing, the one outing we would do a year, and somehow got split up from the group. We would have the 1-800 I want help number that went straight to the gold base. So when there were numbers in the marching, when there were numbers instead of letters, basically on every letter of the alphabet had a number. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if there was a letter, it would be, so marching drills would be left face, right face. So if they say, okay, for Lara, or like whatever, I'm not going to break it down, but basically the address for the Castillo Canyon Ranch, they had numbers and then the letters. So so the numbers were 33755, right? The address. So they would say the address to the ranch, forward, march. And we would march and it would go 3. 1, 2, 3 would be left. You turn left. 1, 2, 3, you turn left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you turn right. So whatever your foot lands on that number. So basically, anyways, it's
wow, I didn't know they did that.
Yeah. So, but what I'm getting to is 10 years ago when I was thinking about going back to the ranch.
You started marching.
I was thinking, oh wait, I know the address because I used to march the numbers. And so I was like 33755. So I Googled it and then I was like, oh, I can get up. Oh, it takes me 2 hours. So then I started thinking, oh, I could drive up there.
Yeah.
I did drive up there. I drove by the Gold Base.
Were you by yourself?
The first time I was with somebody else that was just a friend at the time, and we were driving up. And I was like, wait, we're going by there. And I was like, well, then let's go by the base. I just want to see, I was like, this is the address. So we drove by and I was like, oh, there's Danny Dunnigan. I could drive by and see him in the security booth. I think he had just walked in or something. And I was like, oh my God, it's Danny. And because I had stared, right? So then I called the Gold Base and I said, hey, I'm in the area. And Danny answered, oh, Hi, what's up? How are you doing, Megan? And I was like, good. I'm just in the area doing like bit work stuff on whatever. And he's like, oh, what kind of work? I told him, I was like, it has nothing to do with you. I was just wondering if my mom was available, maybe you could go get a lunch or something. And he was like, oh yeah, no, she's not available right now. Was that you driving by in the Hummer? I was with my friend who had a Hummer. And I was like, oh yeah. And he was like, yeah, I thought I recognized you. And so he literally saw my face do that. It took takes like 5 seconds to drive by that security booth when you're driving on that freeway.
They have cameras all the way down. All the way. All the way. They can see. So he
pulled it all up and he drove. Isn't that insane? And actually what I'm going to say is the person I worked for at the time was Grant Cardone. And really? The person that I was with was a salesperson for one of the car companies that he sells his books and shit to. And so I was going with him to help him like, oh, maybe I could help flirt with people and get them to buy Grant Cardone's book packages. And that was the truth. And so now that I'm thinking of it, he probably scanned the guy's plates and knew, oh, Carlos works for Grant Cardone and whatever, you know? Mm-hmm. So it wasn't a big deal, especially when I really was just saying, oh, maybe I can see my mom. Can she come out for a quick hi? No, that's not how we work here, Megan Anderson. That's what he said. Okay, anyways, not to totally cut you off and interrupt you on the whole thing, but that was the answer to that. I did once at 10, and then when I got there, I realized, oh, the Scobee, the Indians, the native people that live on the property, you have to be a native Indian on the property living there, or you have to have one of them guide or escort you on their property.
Because they bought it since that time that you left.
Oh, I mean, they always owned it, but it was, I guess, I don't know. I'm assuming because I did go, okay, so the second part of that question is I did go back with the person that I was assuming the Over the Rainbow documentary was supposed to be all about the cadets and the Int Ranch and all that. So the footage I did show, I have shown, and as we go, we'll as more photos come in on future episodes, I'll always pull them up. I will bring them up, but to answer that question, I did go back. It was an insane, intense experience. I do talk about this, and I do show it with Amy, Janice, and Gary, Jackson on previous episodes. I'm sure. I think they're episode 10. You guys can find them, but you'll see they're all marked. I'm going to clean everything up so it'll be really easy to find everything as well. So that answers all that, right?
Yeah, it does.
I can't believe
the feelings that you had. The feelings that you had, you covered that.
Aw. Yeah, I was sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Lara, will you hear my story and write a song about my... Honey, I can write a song about anything. Yes, I will. Just send me it privately. Liz Ferris in the house. Question. Just wanted to say you are both amazing.
Question so that you'll see it.
Yeah. Good job, Liz. That was a good one.
I love Liz.
Did you know her father?
Of course. There's nobody that on the Int base that didn't know Bob Ferris.
Right.
There's nobody, you might not have known his life history because he didn't tell you his life history, but, and we don't really ask a lot about that. And then also, if you're not in the area where the person worked, you don't usually know too much about the person unless you do Saturday renos. Saturday renos was when the whole base would get together and do upgrade projects or renovation or construction projects on that property. And I was an electrician always for like 11 years of that time that I was there. And so that's when I personally got to learn the lives of several people at the Int base. We talked a lot. But I worked in the same area as Bob for a little bit of time.
I also feel like every person that I've spoken to, just because I've gotten to know Liz more and stuff, and I'm like, so do you know Bob Ferris? They're like, oh, Bob Ferris. It's like he's been and is still there. Like
he's
mother,
a fixture,
right? Like my mom, like you said, like maybe you don't know her, but you know who Diane Anderson is. You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah. There's people there that are like fixtures of the place that, is synonymous with Golden Era Productions. You think of them. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. Ray. Hi, Ray. Oh, I wonder if this is Ray that was in Degraded Daughter interview recently, and he also grew up in Scientology and all that. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, this is that one, right? This question is for Lara. What years were you active at the Int Ranch? How many times? Hi, Ray. Yeah, go check out my other episodes. I talk about all this stuff. Some of them I'm crying and it's just annoying. But guess what, guys? This is us being real as fuck.
Here's Jeff Hawkins saying, Jenny Linson was an evil bitch. I hope
Thank you, Jeff.
Like, hey, I wasn't saying that she wasn't.
No, it's just because I was worried. Oh God, I'm gonna maybe because right here. Sorry, I'll get. Wait. Yeah, we already answered that one, but here I saved this one for Jeffy. Or sorry, not for Jeffy, but he did write this. I would love to be on a live stream with you and Amy anytime. And then I was thinking, oh God, is he also gonna say nice things about Jenny? And then he just said that.
Hey, I didn't say, oh my God. Okay, I have so many years of experience with her that were not good. And I pulled the one teeny little thing.
Jenny Linson was an evil bitch. Yeah. Quote, Jefferson Hawkins.
I hope she stays at the base forever. That's the worst fate I could wish on anyone. It is actually, isn't it? Oh, I wish I could open the gates to that place, honestly, and free these people. And maybe they can, they're all going to have to, live with themselves in the future and what they did. So,
I mean, but you can't live with what you did if you don't know what you're doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people are like, oh, they're going to have to deal with it. And I'm like, no, but they don't get what they're dealing with. Like it's so annoying.
They don't know what they're doing. Well, she knows what she's doing, but she doesn't realize it's so culty. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard.
This one's for Amy is not going to be 60. She's really 35 and she looks great.
Thank you.
Oh, I missed you and little Lars. Shout out to me. Yes, Lone Dinosaur 13. I did it twice in this episode.
Yeah, and also in your previous video, I saw that too. So great.
Such a great freaking fun gift. Question. Oh, this is fun. You go first.
How are you both doing truly? Oh. You go first. I love that. You go first. You want to know something funny? When my answer to Jenny Linson, that isn't my full answer, but you cut me off before I could say the full sentence.
Oh, yeah,
but anyway, sorry. Because you were so outraged by her. And I did want to get to the fact that she was absolutely horrid. But the reason why I'm saying that is because I remember Sterling was asked about the ranch and said something that wasn't too bad because he did sports or something, and it just set you off, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but now check this out. Okay. Somebody asked my husband about the RPF, and he said he had like some answer, it wasn't too bad. I actually had fun on the RPF. And I'm looking at him like, do you want me to choke you right now?
Is there a way that I can jump through the computer screen and grab your throat on the live stream so that I can shake you and everybody can go, oh, thank you. I almost did the same thing.
I'm like, don't you ever say that again.
Ever.
I mean, it was the worst torture. I was on it. My first assignment was 16 years old, and then as 18, and then 22, and then whatever. Anyway, so yeah, glad you had a good time, buddy.
Yeah. But what the fuck did you have to put in your head to make that a good time? Like, what were you literally shoving so down deep in denial? Maybe the whole thing going on? Maybe you're just denying the whole game being played on you as an individual. Like, how dare you say it wasn't that bad? You're fucking nuts, dude.
Hold on. This is my husband I'm talking about, so he's not nuts.
He's fucking nuts. You hear me?
But I'm telling you, I said, just don't say that again, because that's not my experience, and it invalidates other people's experiences.
Also, how long ago did he say that?
Oh, it was when we were first, speaking out or whatever. And he's in conversations.
That's what I'm saying.
People.
But I have said things. I've said things. I hate this person. This person. And now I'm going, oh my God, I'm talking about doing a live stream with them tomorrow. Like, it's so fucked up, but that's what we're talking about, guys. It's therapeutic and healing.
It is.
And sometimes you go, that wasn't the bad. What the fuck was I saying? I totally didn't mean it like that.
Yeah.
And at the time you're thinking, well, it wasn't that bad because I finally got away from David Miscavige breathing on my neck, or finally I could plant flowers instead of fucking treasury secretary, whatever it is, right?
Yeah. Like,
so I'm like, watch your words. Would you be doing that right now? No, then it's not fun.
Right. No, totally. And plus, he joined the Sea Org because he wanted to do renovations and construction. That was a goal of his, right? To do that. And they had him on all kinds of weird, stupid stuff. And then when he got assigned to the rehabilitation project force, it was the first time he got to get onto, some real renovations and construction. And they actually slept during the time when he was there, not when I was there, but and he also got to find out what auditing was because he'd been in.
Can I interrupt you? Were you just being a little pervert right now?
Why? What happened?
You said he didn't sleep. Oh, he finally got to sleep, but not the time when I was there.
No, that's not what I was talking about.
Okay, that would have been a really cute sexual input. I'm like, oh. I mean, he got a lot of good sleep until I was around.
No, I meant I never slept on the RPS. I don't know what he's talking about.
Right. Then I realized, she's actually saying like, no, she never slept on the RPF. Yeah. So what do you mean by getting sleep on the RPF? That's funny. I totally mixed the future and the past.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to say that because you're exactly right. It takes a little bit and somebody's experience isn't going to be your same experience, but
also, like, honestly, when it comes to Scientology and talking out and being on SPTV, sure, go ahead and speak your mind, but people like they have to me to comment, hey, and the rude things they say, they're not rude. They're just like, people just don't understand the concept. Like, no, I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. I'm not saying anything. I'm Lara FM Anderson. Hello. I'm going to speak what I speak. If there's if you can give me information that will make my life better or give me more knowledge that will make me understand a subject better, I love that. Yeah. Are you kidding me? I love that. So if I'm so certain about something on any episode and then somebody's like, oh, by the way, here's the real thing. I'm like, holy crap, I can't wait to talk about that on the next episode.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? There's no permanency. And so, like, I feel like, no, we're allowed to shout and say, Matt's allowed to be like, hey, I didn't have fun. It wasn't so bad for me because that's how he fucking felt, because he literally was going through some other crazy ass shit. And so it's good for even ourselves to look back at ourselves and go, wow, I remember when I was still trying to protect my mom, or I was trying to say, hey, well, my mom wasn't a bad mom. Well, what's a bad mom? A mother who shows up for 2 hours a week?
Right.
That's a bad mom.
Right.
Whether it was the most loving time, which it wasn't, not all the time. You know what I mean? So anyway, I think, no, as part of SBTV community, you say and speak whatever you want. Yeah. There are going to be people pissed off at Mike Rinder. There are going to be people pissed off at Biddy. There are going to be people pissed off at Janice. There are going to be people pissed off at Lara. Actually, I don't know what I did wrong. I'm an amazing human being. But what I'm trying to get to is, like, everybody's going to be mad at us for something. But guess what? Yeah. This whole thing is clarity. It's not like any of us are not saying the things that didn't happen to us, right? So it's fine if Sterling says some shitty thing that pisses me off. Because later I can either see Sterling getting better, listening to him going, he's starting to realize, certain things. Like, to me, just to talk about that specific point, to me, it felt like Biddy Miscavige was never a good mother, period. Sorry, Biddy. And not sorry, Biddy, because I understand the mechanism, the machine that we're being put in. There's no way you can be a good mother in Scientology. There's no way you can be a good mother in the series.
Impossible.
But it's hard. It's hard for Biddy, I'm sure, to go, I'm a bad mother, to really suck that in, because nobody wants to be a bad mother. And her intention the whole time being in Sea Org or Scientology was hopefully to be the best mother or the best, you know, understanding of what a spiritual being is to be the best. You know what I mean? And that just didn't happen. So the first thing, honey, everybody, is to acknowledge that you definitely still are in denial and trying to reject things that sound so horrible to your ears. But it is a fact. If you were neglecting your child, you were not there for your child, then you are not a good mother. And when you start to say that to yourself, that today will be the day that you become a little bit better of a mother. That's what I'm trying to get to. I could attack Sterling. I could attack everybody. I'm not going to attack. I'm just saying, like, the SBTV community is here because all of us and everything we're saying is literally fucking how we feel and what the fuck happened to us individually. So, of course, Sterling, if Sterling's going to say this broad thing about, like, well, my experience wasn't that bad, then shut up. Because what's the point of that? Like, what is the point when there's only 5 other people who are speaking about what happened? And the other thing is, like, hold on, Sterling. You might look back at this 5 years after you've done hours and hours of psychotherapy and actual real therapy. I'm saying I've gotten psychotherapy. So I'm saying anybody can get therapy to understand what the process of psychosis and why, like, anyways. And then you can start to see what a mother actually is supposed to be doing every single day. Every day. Not 1 hour, not shipping twins off, Sterling and Justin, who were twins, away from their parents, and even for 1 hour thinking that was okay, let alone a couple of days and maybe a week, and somebody was, no, none of this whole situation is okay. That's where I get upset. And then I go to the thing, hey, Lara, calm down. You know, everybody was all in this cult. We were all in this thing together. So I'm just saying, okay, but let us all talk about it and say what we feel. So I think Matt might say something 5 years ago where he was like, oh, well, the RPF wasn't that bad, but it fucking was bad. But listen to us speak about how we're trying to cope. Like, we're still trying to, like, back ourselves up. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to attack Sterling. I'm not trying to attack Biddy. I'm not trying to attack anybody. I'm just saying, like, you know, the reality is like, hey, but okay, was your mom there for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day? Was your mom there picking you up at a great school that you were getting your baseball? And you know what I mean? Like, no. Was my mom telling me about ballet and things that she experienced? No, it wasn't allowed.
You didn't even have a home. Okay.
Thank you.
You didn't
literally
even have
I spoke
a
about
freaking
this.
home.
I spoke about this on the last video. I was like, there's no, I said it's what triggers me, and people, I was like, I get triggered all the time, but I just understand that people aren't doing it on purpose. It's not like, and that my past is very valid. Like, so like people say, you know, how you doing? Like this question, Stephanie, that's why I laugh so hard and put it on you. How are you both truly doing? Like the truth is like when even somebody being sweet and nice is like, hey, you know, what are you doing for the holidays? Are you going home for Christmas? And it's like, what the fuck is home? You just made me think about the Int Ranch. That is what I would call home. Because what do you know what I mean? So, and they're not trying to be rude. Nobody's trying to be mean. But the only way we can clarify that is literally by talking and saying our stories. And it does trigger, man. But then we can talk about our triggers. That's what's so cool. So other people get other perspectives.
That's why a lot of the healing comes from communicating with other people who have been through what we've been through. Yeah, you know,
100%. And we are allowed, by the way, we're not in Scientology anymore. We are allowed to be uptone and downtone at any time we want. I can have anger for something, and I can write in the next, and then a human emotion and reaction. So I can have any bad emotion or good emotion about something. It's fine. Like, we're allowed to be upset or disagree or have anger for a moment, even if it's on film and permanently recorded. Who gives a fuck? It's real. Thank you.
I cried too many times on on video.
Right, me too. I mean, before SBTV even started, I was crying on a documentary that was supposed to be all about the Cadet Org and the Int Ranch and the fucking crap and all of this that we're now talking about. It was supposed to be like about the psychological like what happens if you constantly brainwash children this way? And how do you just give somebody up? How do you just tell somebody like, oh, this is your life, this is where you're going, this is your route, these are your goals, and any goals in your future should be related to these future goals that we have set ahead for you, you know?
That's right.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. Anyways, Paris Cashin, I just wanted to put you up there because she's always freaking being amazing and cutely commenting and just love. She says, I just love both of you and your energy together. Amazing.
Yes.
You are strong and brave to speak out.
I can't wait until someday when we can actually be in the same state and see each other.
That's going to happen. I literally could have seen you a little bit ago, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Question, to your knowledge, what wrongdoings are still going on at the Fort Harrison Hotel? Honey, the same things that were going on when we were there. It's not still going on. It's part of their policies. It's literally whether they want to hide it from the police or the authorities or the judge or the private detectives. It's all there. They just need to. It's not figure it out. They just need to have the right people go in and do the job and just see it. And it's there. It's all there. The same reinforcements, the same manipulative torture and tactics. You know why? Purple Groovy 69? It's because they're not allowed to change the policies and the behavior of L. Ron Hubbard.
That's right. It's policy.
Yeah. So they're not allowed to change it. Like the laws and Scientology in their eyes and in their actions and how they are above the law. So they think that, you know, it doesn't matter what the fuck changes in the real world or the outside world. They're above the law, and whatever the policy L. Ron Hubbard says or whatever David Miscavige is somehow changing, getting them to believe is the new thing, then that's what it is. And that's all there is to it. So what are the wrongdoings? All of them. The human trafficking of bringing in children and minors from families, getting the whole family from Puerto Rico or Venezuela or Italy or anywhere, from Russia, from Ukraine. I'm sure they're using the Ukrainians right now. Are you kidding me? And saying, hey, we have a place. You know what? Go watch Serge Del Mar, his last video today. What are we on? Friday, September 22nd. He did a video with Katrina Reyes. She's Russian, now in a very new life and everything. And this is what they're talking about. It's the perfect example to explain how a whole family, from a whole different field of human trafficking into Scientology, how they get people into Scientology through a visa status that says you are now part of dedicating your whole life basically to this religious visa status that allows you to be behind in this group called Scientology. And then they're going to America. They're leaving countries where they don't have the freedoms at all that they have in America. So they're using the American system to human and traffic people in.
That's right. And, you know,
and then lying to them 100%. They're not even actually giving them any sort of freedom. They're continuing.
They are not.
Their entrapment.
Yeah. And Matt is doing some videos. He's put out a couple of videos on the leaks at the Flag Land Base. And he talked about that specific.
Yes, I've been watching those. And oh my God, Amy, I was at work. This is also why I want to talk to Matt. And I love, I can't even say, like, I'm sure I know Aaron mentioned it, but I love that Matt's doing that so much. What a great idea, and what a great person for it to be coming from, because he has just seen it all on a little bit of every level, and he knows and he knows the names and every time and the way he just drops it down, and he's just like, died of cancer. Go to Matt's. It's on your guys' channel.
It's on my channel. Yeah.
So look on Amy's channel here. Go scroll on her videos, and you'll see that Matt just did it. But anyways, and also go see Serge's video that he just did with Katrina, because all of this, it's just filling everying in. It's filling it all in.
Yeah, I got to check out that Serge video.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. What were we saying just about that? Of the human trafficking and bringing people in. Not only that, but also I cried. I was crying when I was listening to some of the names that Matt was saying.
Oh man.
And then remembering other people that I don't even know. I'm sure he's on it. He's
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, you wouldn't
will you thank
believe.
him?
I
Will
mean,
you thank him? You tell him.
yeah.
You say Lara Megan Anderson.
Okay, I'll tell
Who
him.
he say
I'll tell
Megan Anderson? Do you remember a girl
Yeah.
named Megan Anderson? Well, that's who I've been doing these live streams with.
And he's gonna say what? Yeah.
like, no.
But let
You'd
me
be like,
tell.
yeah.
Let me tell you.
Mhm.
You know. Oh crap. What was it? Right before this, right before you said that, I thought. Oh, what I was gonna say is I have to tell you, people who are watching, on the leak videos that he's done. He's done 2, and anyway, on Sunday at 4:00, we're going to do a live. But so ask Matt any questions. If you come Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern time
on your channel,
it's going to just be a live Q&A, and because we got so many people contacting us after these leaks, asking about their loved ones, telling us about disconnection stories, telling us about loved ones that died that they never got to see, and all this stuff. It's just crazy.
It's
how many people.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Yeah. And if you're watching and you watch this later and you hear, if I were you and I was hearing this list that Matt, if you've ever had somebody involved in Scientology, especially if they were at the Gold Base in Hemet, California, or if they're in Clearwater, Florida, Matt right now is naming off people who are passed away. They've died from cancer inside this organization. So if you have family, you better go watch those episodes. And you better, and if you don't know one person, you're going to know a few of them. Yep. So let's just, maybe this will encourage people to really start, like, not to be rude, but like hurry up with deciding whether you're going to fucking speak out about this or not.
Yeah, and do also, welfare checks on your family.
As you're keeping your family together and all, you know, hush, hush, and we don't want to say any stir the waters, letting other people's families die without even letting their family members know. It's very selfish if you look at it through that perspective. And not to push anybody, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
think about it always. Yeah, push them. But think about, if you're really like determined about something, think about what other ways could you see this? I would say that even for people thinking that everything we're saying here on SBTV is just to attack Scientology. Think about what it is other than attacking that we might be saying that is true. Mm-hmm. Let's just start there, because when you see one thing, then you start to see it all.
That's right. Yeah. You know, and it's not just attack. It's like, you know, let's lay out facts. The way I wrote my book, and it's so funny as I'm reading it, I'm going, oh my God, I just wrote it like a big fat knowledge report, you know, with fact. And there's so much surrounding every single sentence in there of additional information and everything. But I didn't want to exaggerate or elaborate or whatever to give anyone an idea that it was exaggerated. And so I had so many people after I wrote that book reach out to me saying it was their stepping stone out of Scientology, because all I did was go
like this one, this one. Yes, it was Amy who was able to tell me a close friend of mine had died 20 years ago.
Oh,
that's
my gosh.
from Danielle.
Right, Danielle.
So
yeah.
Not to call Danielle right on the spot, she just put that up there. But
yeah,
I was like, well, you're talking about it, I might as well show that.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing, right? Not to cut you off, but it's literally like, there's some people that are, I actually, there's some messages I can't even show because they're people who are dealing with it right now.
Right. I know. Believe me.
She said, wonder if we could think about an SPTV convention sometime. I'm sure people have already thought about it, and we'd all be there. On
the Aftermath fundraiser that we just did, Mike Rinder brought up we should do it in Clearwater because Aaron's here, I'm here, Mike's here, you know, and Claire and Mark could fly in, and then we could do like a live thing and audience participation, anybody who wanted to come in. So anyway, we'll have to plan something like that, because that would be amazing to be able to meet a lot of the people that we correspond with all the time and see via our YouTubes.
I mean, it would be, I have an even better idea because I know
Yeah.
a lot of people, aren't interested in having like a group of somebody being in charge and controlling the whole thing. They're not interested already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, no offense. I love Claire and I love Mark and I love Aaron. I love everybody. So
Yeah.
like, there are just attitudes and personalities that prefer not to. And like Aaron said in a thing, yeah, SPTV community supports SPTV community for sure.
Yes.
Doesn't matter
Yes.
who you are, where you're coming from, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that every SP has to be friends with or good friends with every SPTV community member. No.
Oh.
Like, let me tell you that. Like, I don't need to now, if I'm okay with somebody, you know, who's healed or has come to me, I don't now need to be friends with them and hang out with them and go to Clearwater and be part of a convention. No. But what I do know, what would be really cool, I think, is that if it was just called #SPTV convention, right? Or something like that. And each booth was everybody's YouTube channel.
Is that? That's a great idea.
That
I
way
love
there's
that.
no like, oh, you must have, oh, well, the Aftermath is going to have their booth. Like, fine, have their booth. Growing up and like maybe don't make it about anything and everybody just has their own sort of YouTube channel booth. Don't you think that would be great? Because then I could just sit there and do nothing if I don't want to and people could just come and they could be like, oh, I came here just to talk to you. And I'd be like, great, I'm right here.
Yeah, or just have a party.
But that's what I mean. It is one big party.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Each booth would do something or nothing or everything, or Serge Del Mar would have all his art there. Like, I just think that would be so precise because it's not stepping on anybody's toes of how they want to share their story or anything. But it is kind of like, and maybe YouTube should sponsor and pay us all to do it. They should have a
so funny.
SBTV YouTube convention. Okay, now we're just getting carried away. Woo! And that's without sparking a joint.
I mean, part of the thing is just everyone wanting to learn and know, you know, become friends with all the people that they're watching all the time. They feel like they know them.
But I can't demand, Amy, that you be my friend. I can't say Blow Drill has to be my friend because I love him so much. No.
Yeah.
You know, Blow Drill might be like, hey, Lara, you're a little too much for me. Bye. And I'd be like, you asshole. Okay, bye. But still, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so Blow Drill said the only person that gives himself permission reimagining what L. Ron Hubbard meant is David Miscavige, literally.
Right.
Like the only one who will give the approval of, oh, what L. Ron Hubbard meant here, that like the only reason we're altering this, or the new golden age of tech 3000.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine? Anywho, I can't. And it won't. Anyways, thank you, Blow Drill. We love you here in our SPTV community like no others.
Yes.
I pulled this up before, but then I wanted to show that other one that somebody just said about you. Paris Cash. I always say Paris Cashin because I'm trying to, but like I bet you. What if it's like Paris cashed in the money? So I'm like, is it Paris Cashin or is it Paris cash in? Anywho, okay, but this person is so supportive, so I don't give a fuck either way. All right, and I love Paris Hilton, so it reminded me of Paris Hilton, Paris cash in. Anywho, about how many minors are in each hotel at any given time? They must have a worker's permit signed in. No, honey, I love you so much, but when you say they must, that's demanding like normal humancy. Is that what you call it? Like that's just demanding normal human rights that Scientologists don't have normal human rights. They really don't. They must have a worker's permit signed and parental supervision if they stay overnight. Guess what, honey? Guess who their parental guidance person is? Your senior. Or Natalie Moniz, who was mine, who's the gold, who is also on an overnight schedule, who's also working the old, like, they are the ones who approve everything. And they don't even know how to take care of a child. They just were like, oh, this is a legal thing. They get to pretend to be which was cute. It was really fun and cute that Natalie and Charles Moniz tried to pretend to be my kind of godparents. But it's really like, if I had the choice, I would have left. If somebody said, hey, look, your aunt, you know, at the time, let's just say your auntie Pat, Trish, she's a Scientologist and she's there. If you don't want to be in the Sea Org, you can totally just go be with her, and she understands mom, your sister, you know, her sister, my mom. Mom and dad need to be in the Sea Org, and she gets it. And, you know, if Scientology is the way and they must have a workers' no, they don't. They don't do what's just good and what is workable. They don't do that. They leave you in the worst positions if you leave, and they leave you with these rules that you think that you have to stay connected to, like legally. You think legally, oh, I'm not allowed to contact any celebrity I knew when I was in Scientology as a minor working for that celebrity. I'm not allowed to contact anybody about skills I learned or skills I had in Scientology. They made you sign a thing that said, I promise I will not contact anybody, any celebrities, or anybody, any Scientologists. So they literally put you out in a situation where you are going to have nothing. So
yeah, you have no family, you have no contacts.
No, yeah. So sweet Paris Kashin, your question is very sweet, but how many minors? We don't know. That would just be like that's beside the point question, because, not to be rude, just because it's whatever minors or people they can get in from other countries that believe that this is their chance to freedom in America, and that they can do it through possibly a now religion that seems to really be helping the world and planet. And they're not trying to make you believe in anything hard. They're just trying to help, you know, basic human rights. And so they go and do it, and they go and join. There's no how many. There's always going to be minors. They need minors there and young people to attract the people that they're trying to get money from, that they're trying to hold their withholds and overts from the law enforcement.
Right.
That's as simple as it gets. Like, they're going to pay money to whoever is there. And minors, doesn't matter. In Scientology, it doesn't matter if you're, you know this, but it doesn't matter if you're a child. There's no such thing as a minor in Scientology. There's no such thing as a child in Scientology. So even the person who's being groomed and human trafficked and everything they're not aware that they're even going into a situation where they're going to have to step back and go, I think I need to ask my mom about this, whose mom is also being recruited, who brought all their kids in from across the country to join. So, like, who do they go? What do you mean guardian mother? It doesn't matter who your guardian mother, anything is. You're no longer connected to the rules of the outside world. That's what it is. Yeah. Because all this would be extremely illegal. I'm looking at Paris's little icon photo as if I'm actually talking to her. Anyways, thank you for your question.
It's an obvious question, but with Scientology, things aren't so obvious, you know.
It's not. Right.
And it doesn't have to be legal, because they'll use their lawyers to get them to be able to do whatever it is they want to do, even if it's illegal. You know, I've sat in meetings with Scientology lawyers, Monique Jungling and Moxon, for 8 hours about how certain things are illegal and their proposals to get it legal. And when I proposed that to David Miscavige, he removed me from posts saying, no, they figure out how to make what we want to do that's not legal, legal, or somehow get away with it. So anyway, that's what they do. I had to pay for any sort of concept otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, Blow Drill did say also, I knew so many people that Matt was talking about, my ex-mother and father-in-law guys I went to the EPFs with. The leak videos are great. We love them. Because, like, truth is truth. I just also love that Matt, I mean, maybe I'm just making this up in my own imagination, but I just love that you and Matt have your own little nook and your own little, like, work and tweakings and protecting each other, and you're there for each other. And then how Matt has just come in and started doing his little videos of this. I think that's so cool. It's so Matt. Matt always was this guy that, like, always got along with everybody and was trying to be real. I don't know. Yeah.
He's a very real person.
Cool
he's
dude.
And he's not trying to be anything that he's not. So, but he's outraged. He's outraged at how the seniors are being treated at the Flagland base, and that there's like 200 of them. Yeah. and he's outraged about the disconnection. And so he wants me to do an entire series only on disconnection stories, and because of a lot of the things that we've been being told about what's been going on, and plus our own stories pisses us off too.
Yeah. Sorry, what was this one? Question, are you a fellow Librian? What does that mean? Like
Libra.
Oh, Libra.
I think so. Is
You
that
or
because
me?
my birthday's in October?
You
3rd.
are,
I'm
yeah.
I'm a
like,
Libra.
Not me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Amy. This isn't a huge thing. Do you not know about the Libra, like the signs and all that?
No, I know that it's the justice
Danielle
scales.
Chamberlain, please get immediately on Amy's channel and give her all the information she needs about all this. She's asking you, are you a fellow like Librian? Like, are you a Libra?
I am a Libra.
Hello. Oh my God, Amy, you're going to love everything about the stars and birth dates and signs and attitudes and OM to the G. Anyways, that was just fun. By the way, I'm still kind of thinking that's so cool that Jeff Hawkins is going to do a live stream with us. I love that. Ugh.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
Ray has, oops, sorry. Ray, why do Scientologists look like they have black eyes? What do you mean?
Because they never sleep.
Oh, you mean just in general, like why? Yeah, right. Yeah. You know, I saw
and also
that
like
in that photo.
Dark circles.
When I saw the photo of my mom and dad, my dad was a little drained, but when I saw my mom in the photo, I was just like, how does she not see that she honestly, sadly looks like shit? Like she looks so washed out. And I was like, my mom had piercing blue eyes. What the fuck? Where did they go? When I saw the photo, they just kind of looked black, like just not there. So crazy. Anyways, Ray, I don't know if you're just trying to throw me off, but that definitely did it. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Oh, cats. Rock on Lara. Wish I could give more now. You guys are cute. Okay, so Amy, are you down to do a little bit of? Oh wow, so how are you feeling right now? What's your schedule like? And do you want to do maybe 15, 20 more minutes?
Yeah, let's go till 10 after.
That's perfect.
I can go till 10 after.
That's 20 minutes. That's that's how I see. We're totally on the same page.
Perfect.
Okay, let me just run through these ones. By the way, this man, Blow Drill, he said, I'm also outraged by the treatment of the senior Sea Org members. Like, he's, if y'all aren't subscribed, go to his channel. I don't know why because you keep popping up. I love everybody in here, by the way. And by the way, Rev Girl says, my sister Libra. I know I'm hoping you're reading all this. There's no way I'm able to just pop up everybody's chats, you know?
Right, yeah.
Okay, so let's do 20 more minutes, and I want to kind of focus, if you don't mind, on let's talk about family members of what were you laughing at?
Because I can't I can't star or post any of the comments, and I see a comment, but there's these 3 little dots, so I clicked it, and it says I can put the user in timeout. Or I can ban the user and delete their comments.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But I can't post it, but I can put them in a timeout.
No, honey, what do? You just click on the comment. Just click it.
No, it doesn't. I have to be
linked on my
because I'm on. Yeah, but that's okay. But it's Kaz saying Matt is one of the coolest cats in the world. That's the one I was looking at. But anyway, I agree. My husband is awesome.
You mean this?
Yes. Yeah.
And isn't it Matt with 2 T's or no?
No, it's 1 T.
Because he's
special.
Because
it's not his real name. It's not his real name.
What's his real name? I knew there was something about that. Mark.
Yeah, and
we're gonna investigate you, Mark.
Because when he was working, he went to the Int base. And it was when it was first put up there, and they all had to have AKAs. So he and Marty Rathbun were sitting together, and their real names are both Mark. So Mark Rathbun picked Marty, and Mark Pesh picked Matt. And he spelled it with one T. I said, what did you do that for? Because everybody misspells it. And he said, the other T isn't doing anything.
That's hilarious because my brother's name, Jarrett, J-A-R-E-T, he is J-A-R-E-T-T. And so I was like, yo, double T. I was like, we were thinking, like, I was like, what's names I could call you? Like, JT. And then I was like, no, that's like John Travolta. And then I was like, oh, double. My mom used to be like, double T or whatever. And it would just be like stupid. Now I think it's stupid. But anyways, he said something like, something similar to that. Like, I just, something like that. I have two T's, so, if you need an extra one, you could just take one of mine. I got two T's. I don't need it.
I don't need it.
Because it's not like people are like, Jarrett, you know.
No, of course not.
They're just like, Jarrett. And in fact, they don't even say the T or the D if they think it's Jared. It's just like Jarrett. Jarrett.
Yeah. And by the way, speaking of
my brother, did you know Jarrett Anderson?
Yes.
So he'll be the first one. Let's start with my family. So mom and dad, that's pretty much this whole interview was about my mom and dad, right?
Yeah.
I think we also caught up on comments.
Good.
I mean, not comments, questions we answered. There's so many comments and I love you all. And I did read them and I want you to know, I know, okay? We know that you know that we know. That we love you. That's what we're getting.
Yes.
We see you, we feel you, and thank you for being here. And by the way, if you're watching this video, please don't forget to subscribe. Because that's silly if you're not subscribed to either one of mine or Amy's channels. But also please don't forget to like the thing below. Isn't the like thing right there?
Yeah.
Right, Amy? Okay, good.
Yeah.
So we both, if you're here, there was 200 people watching. Isn't that fun, Amy? That means in the lives, on average, 200 people are watching.
That's really good.
Right? Isn't that cute?
Yeah, that's really good. I'm so happy.
I am too. And I love you and you're amazing and your energy is amazing, like we all said. But you also have so much information. And let's get moving on this before I ruin our time. Okay, so speaking of me. Speaking of my family, let me put this joint out.
Okay. That speaker works, or that microphone works really good. Okay, so your family.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I just did 2 huge Mary Jane coughs, and everybody's like, did Lara freeze? Nope, I just muted myself so I didn't blow out the mic. Good job, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I think so.
Amy was just staring off in space. I was like, I thought I got stoned. What's happening, Amy? Okay, so start with my family. So my mother is Phil Anderson, who we've talked about.
Your mother.
I mean, wow. You see how the weed did that? The Mary Jane got in the way. She was like, hey, get in alignment. And then I was like, my mother, Mary Jane, is telling me to talk about my dad. So I said, my mother, Phil. Wow, Lara. So Phil Anderson, what positions did you know as his job while you were doing whatever positions as your post? Like, what did you know my dad the most? What job did you know him for doing the most?
Oh, your dad. I was thinking of Jared.
First my dad.
Okay.
Jared.
Okay, so your dad. Yeah, so he was the Watchdog Committee member for publications, organizations. He was also, I think, Books Executive International in the executive strata. And I don't know how he went. I don't know which one he did first. Because I think because executive strata...
let's think about the year. And before, wait, are these positions that you just knew of him at the Gold Base?
Yeah.
Okay, because this is very interesting because before my mom and dad went to Gold Base, to be on whatever positions they were being put on, right? Or that they kind of, I believe, were having a similar sort of thing where they were down here in the I'm pointing toward the organization, which
Yeah,
we
the
all
blue
know
building.
Lara lives in La La Land near the Psycho Scientology building.
Yeah.
But my mother and dad still had posts or positions, job titles that later on they ended up being, what they were at Gold. Like, I feel like they were, like, my mom had a name tag. I have a photo of it. I think I popped it up at some point, but she has there's a photo of her and it said Golden Era Productions, but she's in her blue and her, did they have that? Maybe that will, did they have that at the Gold Base when you were there?
Yeah.
They were in the blues and the uniforms.
Yep.
And the skirts.
Not for well, nobody wore skirts unless you were on a
black,
mission.
There were black skirts, and the women
Only if you were on a mission. Only if you were.
So then I'm confused because there is a photo with my mother wearing the blues uniform, the tie, the bow tie and stuff, but she has a skirt on.
So she must have been on a project, because you wouldn't wear that on the base for any reason.
So, or do you think it was where she was before she went to the base down here in LA? Like maybe she was on a project to go to LA, to go to Gold Base. Maybe that was like when I was born, and once they've had this kid here, like, not to be rude, but I can't help but think, oh, they've had this kid here, now we have legal rights to be here. That's what it felt like. It felt like later when I'm learning about my life and where I was born, and my dad stayed in Canada and took care of my brother and sister while they closed up the bills. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then I just and then my mom just happened to fly with me at 6 months pregnant or something. She was and which means if she comes here, I want to see that plane booking. I want to see that it said, oh, she's going to LA and probably had a return flight, and that she never did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would like to see,
because that's where the rest of the family
flight?
was.
Do you think that the airline would have that?
I don't know.
That would be an interesting thing. PI.
That's it.
PI.
I was just going to say that's a question for the PI, because maybe they could dig it up.
Because they could dig that up, because it would be within 3 months, and it would be under her name, Diane Anderson. Yep. And Diane Jessie Anderson. But anyways, the point is that I purposely feel that I was born with my mom. It was just so great. Look at how great that worked out. That I would be born in LA, and then I have citizenship here in LA, which gives my mom or dad some sort of leeway, right, of being in LA.
On their immigration from Canada, right? Right.
Some sort of status to be okay to be here because I'm here.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then eventually.
So were you born without your dad here? Was he still in Canada?
Okay. I think this is a withhold. And if it's not a withhold, it's something that my dad is uncomfortable talking about, whether he's just a dude being like, oh, I don't want to talk about birth, which I don't believe when a child is asking. But when I asked, there was a point when my dad had some time off, or he's probably saying, oh, I'm going to get her ethics in or something. Let me go. I'm going to have a day off so I can hang out with her and have 2D time, but I'm also going to handle her on these 3 reports. You know what I mean? Like, then they're like, okay, it's allowed. But anyways, we were at the Hillhurst movie theater, and we were sitting outside of the theater, and I was like, hey, Dad, and I was telling him, like, I'm going to be doing I kind of wasn't lying, actually. I told him I'm going to be doing a documentary. I was like, about my life, and it's going to help promote my music. I was saying the music thing. I did want it to be about the music, and it was kind of more like I wanted it to be like, hey, I wrote these songs. You guys have no idea. They could totally just be shuffled in as just basic kind of cute pop songs. But there's actually huge meaning behind these songs. So I was trying to do like a story that even when at the beginning of this episode, when I described just the beginning of like singing in my head, my song at the intro, it has like a huge meaning behind it. So I was like, these songs weren't just like, oh, I was some like pop star, like being forced to write songs. These were songs like I was like scared to write and feel how I felt, but I needed to feel how I felt, but write it in words where I wouldn't get in trouble.
Yeah. Oh,
anyway,
God.
Which I think I did a great job. But now, as my older self, I'm being like, oh my God, people still, I've never explained it or I've never put it into perspective where people can really understand that.
Yeah.
Like how intense it is to be able to not just be able to tell your parents or mom and dad, like, get the fuck out of this thing. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much amazing stuff out in this world, and you guys are the sweetest people, and you're being completely manipulated. And you're being manipulated to now hate me. And you're being manipulated to think that if I start to think that marijuana is a okay thing, that I'm a psych, and like that I'm supporting psychiatrists, and now like it's just insane.
Yeah, the whole thing is just I just want
we
them
say
to
this all the time.
release
It's
your
so
parents.
insane.
I know they need to release your parents.
Yeah,
and the family needs to get back together and sort it out from there.
Yeah, I said this in my episode. I was like, let us argue a little. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I'd rather argue than continue this lie. Can I just put this up about your horoscope since it is your birthday coming up?
Yeah.
Purple Groovy 69 said, Amy, your horoscope says that the stars align in favor of healing and harmony. Right? You're being rewarded for walking away from the people that didn't value you.
Yeah.
And can this is just a random thing that I thought about. I wanted to send you this as a joke with a gift package that I'm going to be sending to you. But look at what I found. And I was like, it just reminded me of you. And I was like, be my queen BSP.
Oh, that's so cute. You should wear that. And I'll sign that. And then you wear it.
Okay, that's cute. Anyway, so just so you know, so you can feel good
healing,
about your
I need
chakras it's just going what you're healing. All this is healing. That's what it feels like.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't have to be physical. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So so let's talk really quick. So what I thought is that my parents were going to Gold Base already planned because my mom kind of was already wearing some sort of maybe project uniform that was already entitling her to be. You know who would know a lot about this is Jeff Hawkins, because I think this is around when it was
What year?
It
what
was
year?
It was 1980. It was like 1988, 89, because I was born in LA, right? And so she was close by, but I was being taken care of by the name. I'm sure I fucking wish I could talk to my mom about this. How long, mom? Question, mom. Question, caps, question. How long was I with you as a baby before you started to go back to your post and job? Or was I allowed to be with you at your job for a little bit while you nursed me? Or what happened? Is there a lot of things you don't want to tell me? That's okay. I can hear them. I'm very prepared and ready, and I'm not going to judge you, and I just want to know.
Yeah.
And then that would be one of my questions. And then I would also say, how long did you live at the Wilcox Hotel that they now call here in Hollywood the Mama Shelter Hotel?
Yes.
How long did you live there? Because I know I was born there. Like, how long were you in that building or whatever until, I have many little weird timeline
Lots
questions.
of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 89, I mean, I know a lot about what was going on. That'd be wonderful to have Jeff as well.
Yeah, we'll do that. Let's do that on the next one.
Come on,
that
baby.
would be really fun. And Jeff's already agreeing, so boom.
Okay, good. I might have to let the doggies out real soon. So
no, we're gonna close off soon. I was gonna just finish off on the family, and then we'll talk. The next episode will be starting to talk about other Int Ranch Cadet parents. I think that would be epic. Okay. Oh, hi, Apostate Alex. Oh, I totally didn't. So I thought I text messaged him back. Oh my God, I was having so much in my. Hi, Jen. Oh, all these beautiful people are showing up, but we are entering out. But also, it's been shuffling. I've seen people go and come, so this is great.
Yeah.
And also, Peeling the Onion was on, and I had no idea until somebody just messaged me a cute thing, and I was like, fuck. So next time, you know what I'm going to do is put my thumbnail in, because we had planned this like a week ago already. Yeah. And I love watching I love being like, hi, I'm here, whenever I can jump in on any of our people's show. Anywho, so what I was going to say is next time I'm going to just start, when I have a live stream coming up, even if it's a week from now, I'm just going to start posting it. Because it's actually easier. I like it when I know it, even for shows. If I have a friend show, the sooner I know, the better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then it just slowly happens while my life is going. Like, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna listen to that. Anyways,
Yep.
and I also had many questions for Janice, so that would have been so fun to put out
Yeah.
there. Okay. So, is there anything else you want to say before I start jumping in on some fun things?
Nope. Yeah.
I want your smoking sister. Sister, or do you mean I want to know what you're smoking? I'm smoking that Mary Jane, baby. Yeah, 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 yeah. Blow drill. Why did you say? I believe there might be an episode where Shelly. Good. Where the fuck is Shelly? Oh, that would be a good episode, actually. That would here's a. Sorry, it said some of the elderly that are there have kids at Int. They have no idea their parents are on limited duty. Like, limited. Right. Like, oh my God, beyond belief.
Yeah. They're watching the cats out there. But they don't leave the property. You know, could you imagine live out the rest of your life until you die in a confined space? You know, it's just ridiculous.
No, I don't
They have no
that.
plan for all these people who are getting seriously old.
Yeah, hi, apostate Alex. This is so wholesome. I love it. Thank you, honey. I get super confused in the chat sometimes when I've got one channel on my PC and another one on my phone. I'm trying to follow when the video is probably. Hey, cats, it doesn't matter. The fact that you're around in here is what it's all about. Whether you're jumping in and out of all of our stuff. So Blowjo also said I was in and out of PAC around that time, working for CMOIXU. What org was she in? I think he's talking about somebody above.
Your mom in '89.
Oh, yeah. So I was born at the Wilcox in 1986. So I can only imagine, and I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, right? I can only imagine my mom was probably slightly on post or off post, right, with me for at least 6 months, or is that too long?
Oh no, I mean,
so she's given birth to me, right? How long does she have to be back on post, right? Like 3 months after?
Less.
Dude, Mom, you're lucky that our connection is even this strong, right?
Right.
Because aren't you supposed to be like with your baby and stuff when you're?
Yeah, you know, I would think so. Not that I'm an expert, because I couldn't have kids because I was in a Sea Org.
Yes, okay, Amy, not to jump into that and make it a big thing, but it's insane that a human being, even if they're part of a group or not, thinks it's like they're entitled enough. Like almost like the LA drivers in traffic, like, hey, honk, hurry up, speed up. Like, no, you can't actually tell somebody to speed up. It's not legal. You don't honk your horn for that. But okay, people do it, right? Entitled. Scientologists literally think they're entitled. Like, hey, you're not gonna have kids in Syria. Come on, abortion. It's literally as quick, and I know that sounds. It's as quick to them as like being. Hey, you're in the way. Move out of the way. Up, get that out of the way. Go get an abortion. The immediate next thing is you're going to get an abortion, right? Like, don't make this an issue.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that crass. It's that crass, and it's so uncaring. Yeah, God. I mean, if I didn't have the heart to continue to do this because of, you know, I know that they break up families, and I need to keep speaking out, and because it takes us to keep speaking out, then I would have absolutely not a single blessed freaking thing to do with Scientology. I hate it so much. I hate it because it's so destructive. And it's so uncaring, and destroys families and empties bank accounts, and it doesn't care.
And has no, and then abuses the future lives of these members, but
anyway, they're gonna pay for that.
Of young children.
I don't think this is over.
Like, they purposely know what the route is. If you recruit a young minor or a baby, if you're having a baby on staff, you know that child's going to be forced into a Scientology life.
I mean, okay, at the Int base, there were so many people getting abortions that it was out PR that there were so many going to certain clinics. So then they had to spread it out
and not say that clinics. You were part of Scientology.
Right. Yeah. And lie, because it was just like so disgusting. But anyway, Luckily, I never got pregnant, and that never happened to me because I don't know.
Sorry, I don't know if I skipped over that question about this. Did you get that, Amy?
What's OAP mean?
I don't know. How many OAP/retirement age members in Scientology right now?
Oh, there's going to be a lot. I mean,
1,000. I would say at least 1,000.
Yeah.
With like Gold Base, Florida, LA, probably more actually. Way more.
Because I was a young one. I was one of the young ones when I was at the base, you know, and now I'm 60. So
right, that's what you're thinking. Like, fuck, they're actually really old.
Yeah.
Like for me to be like I'm almost 40, that means like that means they're actually old. Like that's so crazy.
Right.
Oh, Jen was saying, hi Jen. She was saying I got 12 weeks of maternity leave from work and it didn't feel enough time, honestly. So that means
12
like
weeks.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That means like my mom, I mean, we're just thinking what, probably a month or two?
Not even. I don't even think. It's like get back on post. Get back on post. As soon as you can turn them over. You know, maybe take an extended lunch or dinner, but still get back on post. As soon as she could walk.
Yeah. Wow. It's like I would never, and then you expect these parents to be good parents. Their attention is already somewhere else. And you know what is so gross? This is what grosses me out as like a human being, being the child of a mother whose brainwashing was thinking, you know, like, oh, good. Oh, you know, like, you know, no connection. That's it. Good. You're going to already be part of this whole, like, even like, I wonder if I had been born in the mind frame that my mother was already in as a Scientologist, if the connection we naturally would have had would have saved her from ever getting so deeply involved in such a gross cult. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, what the hell? And did you permanently mess me up now that we didn't have that mothering connection? And now I probably won't have children. Like, I'm not with a partner now. I probably won't have children. I'm almost 40. You know what's weird, though, also to think about, why I'm probably crazy thinking about all this, is that my mom had me right now at my age.
Oh, is that right?
At 37, she had me right now.
Right.
So I'm thinking, like, if I was pregnant with a child right now, I would be like, what the fuck was my mom thinking, even being in this environment where you're pregnant, let alone coming from Canada to purposely maybe be here to purposely have a child here. Like, let's get real. I'm saying maybe, but I really am like, a mother knows what she's doing. And maybe she thought, yeah, of course we did that. You know, that was the greatest thing to do. That was the greatest good for to get me at Gold Base.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways. Okay. I think these are one of the last questions.
Okay.
Ray says questions. So the bar/hotel now named Mama Shelter in LA. Yes, exactly, Ray.
Yeah.
Is where in room 516 to be exact, in case you want to go take a little nap there. Rent out the room for the night. Oh my God.
Little Wilcox. Ugh. I'm glad it got taken over.
Yeah. I mean, well, they bought it out. Yeah. Oh dear. Okay, loves. I think we did really good, Amy. Like, what the heck are we doing on here? Fucking 2 hours and 15 minutes later.
Yeah, you know, I feel like we need to do a live where it's like the subject matter is what pisses us off about Scientology and just rant, you know, because I feel like ranting one of these days. Yeah. You know, I'm not going to be nice. I'm going to say exactly what I freaking think.
And then, you know what would also be fun if I had like a 30-second buzzer button, which I'll get, would have been like, and you have to be like, oh, so you have to get your rant on just that one topic out in 30 seconds.
Yeah, or that one thought, because some of these topics, you know, it's going to need a few rants.
Yeah, just a few. All right, guys. Well, if y'all are here, we love you so much. If you've been in and out, we love you so much. If y'all haven't checked out my music videos, I am an artist, by the way, guys. I do sing in real life. And a lot of it does have to do with my emotions and my past and the things I couldn't say, which is cool. It's kind of amazing still today to be able to be singing live what I went through.
Yeah.
Of messages that I wasn't able to say to my mom and things like this. And like, and you know what is so fucked up, I realized the other day too, is that my mother has never seen my live show ever. She's never seen me perform ever. Like my dad tried. He did try. He came and saw me perform at the knitting at the something. I forget what it is, but some like event. Then it was close to the org, so I was like, Dad, it's right down the street. You should just be able to come. Anyways, that was that. That's that. So check out the music videos. You can go here. You can also on this YouTube here. You can go to the home and watch my music videos where I'm just having fun in the desert. And I've literally filmed most of my videos and all that have been music videos stuff from the desert, like where I'm just being fun and expressing myself. It doesn't, it's just going through moments and being lovely and also enjoying my life being out in the desert and like processing stuff. Oh my God, it's so fun to just shoot stuff out there. It's amazing.
I love seeing your journey. I really do. And I'm so happy for you. I really
Thank you. And same for you. Holy banana balls. Wow, wow. So you're doing, let's just, before we head out, you're doing something, you said, what, this Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern time will be a live Q&A with Matt and I. So I want everybody to be there. Ask your questions and we will answer as best as we can. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Bye, everybody. Everybody, they know we're heading out. You guys are amazing rock stars. We love you. We'll see you Sunday, and obviously way before then. I might do some more lives tomorrow. Not might. I will be doing more lives tomorrow, and I better put that freaking thumbnail up, right? So Goldie can handle that. All right. I love you all. Thank you for being here. See you Sunday. See you on the other channels. We love and support you. You can... subscribe to Amy's if you haven't, but also listen to her book and her audio of her like doing her chapters of her book, which I personally love. And not to be weird, but I listen to them a little bit before I go to sleep, and it's so much easier. Like
my voice soothes you to sleep.
It does. Baby. That's why I was like, let's do this. All right. We love you. See you soon. Shout out to all y'all's and see you. Basically, we'll see you like what, tomorrow?
Bye.
Bye. Oh, intro out. Bye.
Bye.
Somebody is searching for the right child. Somebody is telling you what's right. Now you're going to have to decide what you're gonna